I feel like I know nothing, but also I feel like I have an inner knowing of myself at the same time. My name is Naima and I barely post on here. I overthink so much and I deal with a lot of insecurities and confidence issues, and that's really held me back from posting, showing up, and using my voice. I am not feeling very secure in my life right now. I'm really struggling with figuring out who I am, what I want to do with my life. I'm not feeling grounded at all. It's a really weird feeling to feel like you're just floating. How do I create things if I don't know who I am? Multiple times a day, I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, what's going on? I graduated from college in May 2022. I've dealt with depression for most of my life, but now it's like post-grad depression mixed with existing depression. My senior year of college, I had like a full mental breakdown. I was having so much anxiety about my future. My major was human development and family studies. I had more of like a public health background. My plan was to get a master's in public health and try to find a job in the public health field. But the issue was that every internship I had was extremely boring. I found no joy in it. I did not feel like I belonged there at all. The idea that that was going to be my life terrified me. I had a moment where I was just like, something's got to change. This trajectory is not going to work. Like, I didn't have a choice to be working in an area where I was not fulfilled. My brain would just not let me. Like, it was dark. The first thing I wanted to be when I was growing up was an author and then a therapist. Then later on, around like 11 or 12, I wanted to be a filmmaker. I knew very early, but I didn't think it was practical. I also developed an interest in sexual health. That's kind of related to public health, but sex is a really taboo topic. I was just so insecure about it, and it just made me feel like I couldn't do it. I was suppressing this interest that I knew I had for so long. It was always in the back of my mind. You know, it never really left me. It was like agonizing, ignoring this inner knowing that I had, that I was supposed to be involved in more creative things. I was supposed to be using my voice, doing things that I was more passionate about. I reached my limit of suppressing my actual interests and my actual passions. I talked to my parents and I told them I was just not happy and I just couldn't continue with what I had been doing. So I decided to put more effort into my passions. I had made that decision in the past, but I always retreated back. I was like, oh, you know, public health is gonna be my backup plan, you know, just because this is not stable or whatever. So I just feel like it's not really possible to have a plan B, or it's not really possible to have like a security blanket and do the things you're passionate about. I don't know. When I moved home, I had a lot of creative blocks. I had never like fully allowed myself to express myself in that way. So I didn't have like a creative process. I didn't have like a rhythm. I felt like an imposter. I felt like someone like just playing around. I didn't feel like a legitimate like artist or creative. I read The Artist's Way, and that was really helpful to me. I feel like I'm a very pragmatic person. A lot of the things I do, I need to have a reason for it, or else I won't be able to do it. I won't be able to stick with it. I remember when I would make videos and write when I was younger, I didn't continue doing it because I was just like, why am I doing this? What's the point? I'm not getting a good grade from this. I'm not making money from this. The fact that I enjoyed it solely was not enough for me. It wasn't a good enough reason for me, and I think that's definitely due to societal conditioning and capitalism that just kind of makes us feel like if we're not being productive, if we're not making money, it's a waste of time. So I think I just felt like it was a waste of my time to be making videos and writing if it wasn't like super clear how this was going to benefit me in the future. When I moved home after graduation, and I was like, okay, let me try to make some films, let me try to, write, let me try to express myself. I was like, why? Reading The Artist's Way really helped me because she just talks a lot about like this connection between creativity and spirituality. She kind of framed it in a way like it's not just like a coincidence that I was drawn to movies and film and writing. Like I was given these gifts, and so now I have a duty to use them. That was a good why for me. It's hard, obviously, like seeing all your peers have jobs and move out and, be making money. I'm living with my parents and I'm grateful. I don't have to pay bills right now, but I do have over $100,000 in student loan debt. I'm getting rejection letters. I don't know what I want to do. Like, I don't really have a strong community. I was feeling really unmotivated for a long time. I felt like a loser. It's really hard for me to apply for jobs that I know I'm gonna hate. I felt really guilty too because I wasn't kicked out of my house after graduation. I felt like I would be okay quitting these jobs because I didn't have bills, but I know a lot of people, like, they get kicked out and they have to do what they have to do. They have to stay in jobs they hate for a long time because they don't have, a plan B. But I was able to quit, and I was able to take time and figure out who I am and what I like and what I want to do and what I want my life to look like, and I'm really grateful for that. I want to eventually pay off my loans, but I would love to find a job that I don't hate, and I feel like that takes really knowing yourself and knowing what kind of conditions are gonna work for you the best. And I feel like I've gotten more clear. Only recently I started to stop feeling like a loser. I don't have a full-time job, but I feel like I'm really networking, I'm making connections, I'm trying. I do feel like writing and film, like I don't want these things to be like my full-time source of income because I just feel like they're so inconsistent that relying on them for a source of income could really make them like a source of stress for me, whereas I would like them to be a source of passion and joy. I really am interested in sex education. I could definitely see that being kind of like my full-time job or something like that, and then doing film and doing writing on the side in my free time, using the money from my sex education jobs to invest into my creativity. I would like to have multiple sources of income. I feel like job security is an illusion. I could get laid off at any moment. Post-grad has been a roller coaster of emotions. There is no school structure. You have to develop your own structure, and it's like, okay, do I do what is secure and safe? Do I do what everyone else is doing? Or do I actually listen to myself? Do I take the road less traveled? Do I take that risk? Your life is just gonna go a lot better when you stop ignoring that like inkling you have to create, or that inkling you have to do whatever. It's difficult trusting yourself. It's difficult figuring out who you are and creating a life that feels good. There's gonna be times where you are feeling delusional and feeling crazy, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing it. When you are doing the things that you feel called to do, you are living in alignment, and when you're living in alignment, miracles start happening. Like, your life improves. I've been making a lot of changes in my life, and now I'm starting to feel more connected to myself. I'm grateful, but I'm also struggling. But I've made a lot of progress, but I have a long way to go as well. But honestly, I'm proud of myself for making this. I'm listening more to my intuition, and so I feel like because of that, I'm gonna be okay. Thank you for watching, and I wish you luck in whatever journey you're going through. We're gonna be okay.